Hey Zoom, how are you guys? I am here and I'm ready to talk to you about how to take your in-person communities and to go ahead and replicate those online and have some online communities, which I think is going to be really helpful for you. Are you guys feeling, anyone else feeling like, oh, geez, life just isn't the same. I miss my in-person friends. I miss my in-person communities, miss what was going on there. Anyone else? Or is it just me? Yeah, I'm feeling like that too. I'm gonna go ahead and, yeah, John says, John's feeling like that. Yeah. And I have a couple tips for you. And it was interesting. Oh, Joe, you can't hear me. Well, John could hear me. Rick and Kay. Yeah, tell me where you guys are from. Is anyone else? John's from Malaysia. Oh, awesome. So Rick hears me. Joe, maybe it might be your microphone. I'm just going to go with that. Or you might need to go ahead and, raise the volume on your computer. Sorry. I'm just going to try one more time to see if I can capture our friends on Facebook. All right, just move on, she said. I love Melanie Nelson. She is so incredible. What an inspiration. And that's one thing that's really been different for me is people that I wouldn't typically interact with as in-depth as I am. I'm now, and I see Melanie mostly at major events and occasionally, if we happen to both be at the office at the same time. And now we're meeting, and we're not just meeting, but we're meeting face to face. And we're actually, I think we have a better relationship. And I'm going to show you how not just, my relationship with Melanie, but my relationship with a lot of different communities has been evolving, has been getting stronger during this time. And I wouldn't really just say, I think I've been preparing my whole life for this moment. And I think it's more just this marketing moment. Yeah, I love the internet. I love watching trends in what's happening. And I've always seen the trend of, you have to make sure that your in-person connections are also very fluid and online. And you have to really try to keep them the same in a way. And it's so hard. Patty, yeah, we're just going to give up with Facebook. So we'll be here and then they'll post this. Luckily, they'll help us and post this to YouTube. So that's one thing that I really think is great is about taking your tribes, taking the people that you love and moving them, into also an online platform. And it's like a parallel universe. So I don't want you to think that you have like your real friends and you got your online friends. No, I want it just to be all your friends. But how you take this and you say, let's do this digitally. And so this isn't just going to be about Facebook. This is going to be about a lot of different technology that I use. And so if you've been following along with the trainings that I've done in this particular series, we started with teaching you how to introduce yourself to new people, how to represent yourself, whether you're meeting someone or on the internet. And that was about your creating your identity. Hey, Melanie, how are you? Yeah, it does look like the TLS Trim Cafe. And I know, especially if you're adding some fiber powder to it, right? And drinking it cold. So we have that aspect. And then Melanie, you got me all off track. All right, so with your identity, then I helped from moving from conversation to appointment using technology. So if you didn't see that one, that was really great. And now I'm going to kind of go backwards and say, how do you kind of create more conversations? Like I told you what to do once you're engaged in conversation, but for all of you that feel like you need more conversations, how do we do that? That's what this is going to be about. And how do you reconnect with those people that you feel like you're not connecting from? Hey, Dawn from Albany, how are you? Who am I? I keep saying hi to all of you. I hope that you've been, following along with me. But if anyone's new here, to me, I'm Sarah Tugender. I work in the nutraMetrix division as the director of sales. I am coming up on 14 years owning my own franchise. My annual renewal is about to go through. My start date was May. I have a background in sales and sales management. I've been in nutraMetrix, TLS. I've done all the things, right? Master UFO, SAM, challenges. But what I'm most proud of is my really strong, awesome marriage to my best friend, Dan, and our 3 beautiful kids that we are just loving all these extra memories that we've been making at home with them. I really love social media. I want to show you some really cool things I've done with social media. I've built 2 online communities to over 15,000 people. And so this is really my specialty. I was really psyched to be able to pick this as a topic because I typically just talk about healthcare. And there's so much more that I really enjoy doing, including, this online and what this is like. And it's the new norm. And I don't think it's really going to change much. There's so many things. I started my morning at 8 a.m. with my personal trainer in a group training session online. And I'm thinking, how cool is this? Because I was able to 2 minutes before I got on with him, finish pouring my son a bowl of cereal. I got to, make faces at my 4-month-old while I was doing my squats, as opposed to leaving the house, getting a babysitter, maybe missing the workout, that added stress. I've been able to add more workouts more frequently to my life because we now are online, and where to schedule those as a busy mom, working mom of 3 kids can be really challenging. I was talking to a dentist the other day who was telling me that there's definitely going to be some changes in dentistry and healthcare in general, but especially dentistry in the way that the air flows in the office. They have to wear extra protective gear to really protect the dentist. The dentists are the ones that is the most at risk, not necessarily the patient. The patient's, the one that's creating all the air and germs within that environment. And because of that, communication is really hard with the patient now. And so she's going to go to a model where she does virtual consults before they even come into the office. So she has the ability to be able to talk to them before she puts all of her protective gear on. And so she's going to do that virtually. I was reading an article about how news reporters need to now stay safe, and they can do interviews and meet with people, but they should be far apart. And if they can't hear one another, they can be together apart on the phone. Just really interesting things about what's changing and how our technology is going to be, just part of the new norm. So if you don't understand how to initiate a Zoom call, if you don't understand how to make a personal connection through a tiny lens, this is something you really do need to learn how to master. I mean, do we all remember when FaceTime first came out? And, if anyone went and FaceTimed their parents or their grandparents or, that an aunt or an uncle, and the camera was like this, and they're like, honey, do you hear me? Are you there? Are you on the other side, right? And we eventually had to teach people how to hold the phone, how to hold the screen, how to be aware of what's in the background. I just received a notice because my daughter's school is going to start to do some Google Hangouts. And they gave you a whole checklist about make sure that whatever's in the background is not inappropriate. Because you could totally see a 6-year-old taking this computer into the bathroom, when mom's going to the bathroom, and having that be in the background. So there was a lot to think about. And so this is just what is going to be our reality. Facebook just announced, if it wasn't today, then it was yesterday, that they're basically creating a platform similar to Zoom where you can get together with up to 50 people. I know there's been a lot of birthday celebrations, holiday celebrations. I think it's great. I think a lot of these things are going to continue. My husband's Jewish. We celebrated Passover, and we're not often with his family during the Passover holiday. But, for some reason this year, because we were all apart and no one was with anyone, they did a group Zoom on Passover and told the story and, read from the Haggadah. And it was so cool because my kids, we don't travel usually during that time to go and do that and hear that. And so I do think that there's some traditions that are going to get stronger and pick back up. It's the new normal. for so many people. And it's bringing us together. So you need to learn how to reach through the screen. And what I'm going to cover today is the 4 places that I want you to think about where you can build your community, but build it online. And so we're going to talk about your team with marketamericashop.com. We're going to talk about your social circle. We're going to talk about the physical community, like who's immediately right around you. Because I know a lot of people are saying that they're connecting with people, all over the world that they haven't talked to. But I do think that there is something, and whenever I've been coached and mentored in this business, my coaches and mentors and friends who are from the $1 Million Club, friends who built the business, were pioneers, they always tell me to go back to who can I grab coffee with? Who can I pick up and take to a meeting? Who's right around me? And I don't want us to lose that just because now we're able to reach everyone. And number 4 is I want you to take the communities that you can build online and really step up in a leadership position. I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's start with your team. Let's start for how you're going to take your team and meet them online. One thing that's really big that everyone I think pretty much has is they have a Facebook group for their team. So tell me if you guys have a Facebook group for your team. Do you guys have a name for it? My team name is Make It Happen. I love too that now that there's the team assigned seating and they make the big signs with the team names. Some of the team names have been really innovative and cool. I know that up in Buffalo, New York, Team Abundance, Team Paragon, fantastic team, Fred says. MA Central K's, cool. I like that. Yeah. So is that building together, building momentum? MA 101 Orlando. Oh, I like this one. Team Amazing with the MA capitalized. That's cute, Margot. Yeah, so a lot of us have these teams, these groups, and it's just for the team. That's a great place to be able to say, welcome to someone new. Team Freedom Fire. I love that, Melanie. All In. And Annette says, these are really great names. Be consistent in your team. Really also what I found with my team is we find out who has different strengths. So someone might be a little bit stronger about the administration on the team, approving people, cleaning up the group, making sure that no political posts go in there, everyone's appropriate. Where someone else is better about taking the corporate communications and making sure that they all funnel into the team. And then other people go in and just are like the rah-rah type people. But you do have to sort of have different roles, and that's going to keep it consistent. The other thing that I see a lot of people do incorrectly on their team pages is they'll share things into a group. I think doing things like watch parties is really great. But sharing sometimes, if you're sharing from one group, if you share from a group, or if you share from a page and all of a sudden that page takes the post down, all of a sudden it looks weird. It says like content unavailable. Has anyone seen that? And it's all grayed out. And you're like, oh, well, this looked like it was maybe going to be good, but it wasn't great. So the other day, today, Nancy Miller-Ely was doing a general product training, and I wanted to tell my team about it. So what I did was I actually copied what she wrote somewhere else on Facebook, and I went and pasted it into a new post for my team page and reposted that. So don't just share. I really think that there's something to reposting. Go live sometimes too. Go in and talk to your team like this. Go in and be real. Sometimes that's nice, and especially where now you're getting new team members, and for them to meet the rest of the team. They might read, how many people read my name and they're like, Sarah Tugender, how do we say that? How do we do that? So I tend to go live a lot and I say, my name's Sarah Tugender and this is who I am. And then when I've had so many people, when they meet me, they go, Sarah, we've seen you live so much. We feel like we're already friends. How many of you guys feel like that? And when you guys go live more, I feel like I'm already friends with you. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create your community, but put it online. So when you see each other, we're just, boom, we're better friends now. Spark conversation. One thing that Facebook, Instagram, same company, they're owned by the same people, what they're really putting a lot of weight into is not just likes. Likes are dead. Not just comments, but are people having conversations? So when something is posted, does someone post something? And then is there a little conversation thread within that? And that's really great. So not only if you just like something and comment on someone's comment. That's going to boost the post up. Start a dialogue, just like you would, right here. If I had my friends with me, it would be weird if, Joe's in the corner not talking. It would be a little strange, right? If we weren't all together. Margot, thank you for watching my Family on Family Feud. Aren't we one big, they call it the Market America family, right? We're like friends, family. I feel like that. We all really root for each other. So thank you so much. I saw a picture of the Martins the other day when Lisa had her little baby. I remember when her little baby was born, and I was like, oh my goodness, she's so grown up. I felt the same way, like it was my family, like I was the auntie to Lisa Martin's little baby. That's how I felt when I saw that picture. All right, let's talk about conference calls, Zooms. I don't think it matters. I really, honestly, I love when you can see your faces. But one thing I want to say about all of this is don't let technology slow you down. Don't not make it happen just because you're like, I don't really know how to do a Zoom. I loved what Melanie just said to me before I went live. She's like, listen, girl, if you're getting the circle of death on Facebook, move on, create the content, make it happen. And that is so true. Make sure that you're consistently meeting with people. People want to be heard. So you have to give your community a platform and a stage to be heard. And maybe they don't just want to post on Facebook. They want to tell you something. They want to celebrate their success. They want to air their frustrations. Has anyone, I call my mom like 3 times a day. My poor mother, she's the mother of 6 children. So she says she spends so much time hearing from each of us because we all just want to be heard. And your team is like that too. You have to create a safe space for them. And the Facebook group is sometimes that space, but a lot of times it's more going to be, your consistent conference calls, your Zoom meetings. Be consistent, but also pass the marker. And what I mean by that is maybe I'm the one who's going to be the expert, most of the time. But if I have someone else on my team and they're moving and shaking and they're doing something innovative, I'm going to let them lead the call that time. That's this ABC pattern. It can't always be you. You have to get to the next level. And don't be afraid to cross-pollinate, to say, hey, there's someone else that I'm friends with on another team. They're going to come be the guest speaker on our team call. It doesn't even have to be a big pin level. It just can be someone else that's doing something else that you think is cool. That's it. And if you think it's cool and it would add value to your team, you also don't have to meet for an hour. You don't even have to meet for a half hour. You could make it a 10-minute conversation. I keep saying, guys, be bright, be brief, be gone. Make it so it's something that's duplicatable. And the other thing I do with my team a lot, and I make it personal. I text, I FaceTime. If I see it's their birthday, I'm going to send them a text message, not just post on their wall. I'm going to go ahead, and I taught you guys in my last Zoom how to leave a voice memo, either on text or on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to check in with people. I'm going to check in with them often. This is my family. That's how I feel about it. I try to stay connected to everyone and really think about them. And that's going to create a culture. It doesn't have to be that it feels the same way like you do with your coworkers at your job. And the way you interact with your coworkers at your job is a choice that you have because of the culture of your job. There's a lot of workforces that are saying, let's all do virtual cocktails on Fridays. There's other workplaces that be like, listen, after 4 p.m. on Friday, you better not even email me. Like, I am done listening to you. What's your team like? Tell me what that's like. Are you guys friends first? Do you care about each other first? One of my favorite, places to go in the entire Market America culture has got to be Bismarck, North Dakota. And Bismarck, North Dakota is is so great at just saying, hey guys, it's a Friday night. This piece of place is on Shop Local. If anyone's around, you want to meet up, let's do it. Have a team you want to do that with, that you want to hang out with on a Friday night, grab a slice of pizza. Have a team that you want to, you know, say, hey, the weather's nice, you want to go for a walk. Have a team that you want to, you know, FaceTime and call. Just the other day, yesterday, I had been thinking about Jonathan, who's on my team, lives down in the DC area, so I don't get to see him that frequently. And I texted Jonathan because we had been thinking about trying to, you know, get on the phone. We're both busy. He's doing telehealth. I'm doing Zooms. I have the kids. The house was kind of quiet. And I was about to pour myself a cup of coffee and just like scroll through Facebook, right? Like be aimless. And I said to him, I'm about to pour myself a cup of coffee. You want to have a cup of coffee with me? And he was like, I would love that. And he did. That's what we did. He poured a cup of coffee. I poured a cup of coffee. I didn't have a face on. I didn't FaceTime, but we just chatted. And it felt so awesome. It felt so great. We didn't even really talk about business. It just felt so great to connect. So you have to take your team and you have to make it so they can, you know, you can be together. And look at that's even just, you know, my team, Jonathan in DC. It doesn't matter when this whole pandemic is over. I still am not going to see Jonathan in DC on a regular basis. The same is true with your social circle, with your friends who aren't in the business, right? Money might make you wealthy, but friends are going to make you rich. And you're going to have friends inside Market America and you're going to have friends outside of Market America. So you got to figure out a way to stay connected. I was just texting back and forth with a girlfriend of mine. We both had babies within the past couple months. We were comparing weights and sleeping and dirty diapers and, you know, like you do. And I was just texting her back and forth. And because I bet she had a sleeping baby. I had a sleeping baby. I saw my sister the other day did a Zoom call with her friends that she from college, and they did this funny thing called see a sip, send a sip. And they all had their drinks last night, their little spiked seltzers that the 20-year-old girls drink, right? And so one sipped, and then the other one sipped, and then the other. It was so cute. And I think when I was just at Northeast Regional, I think it was Benson Chen that was saying how he creates culture and feeds into his social network, which feeds into his business, by creating little groups of people where they have shared interests. I think he was saying something like we'll all get together at a brewery and drink some cool new beers and talk about it. And they have like walking clubs and running clubs. And, you see this, dodgeball tournaments. How can you do this, but take this online? I think you can. I was just invited to a group from a friend of mine, and it was like the Cooking at Home Club. And it was a Facebook group. As I was creating this presentation, it popped up on my screen. And I was like, that's cool. Like it was about 25 women, a lot of them moms. We're all about the same age. And what are we cooking at home? What are we making at home? It's so cool to be able to stay connected like that. So, what are you doing within your social circle? How are you still staying social? My neighbor, she was doing trivia night with her girlfriends on Zoom. I don't know how they do that. Yeah, Melanie, lots of FaceTimes. I was thinking about putting it out there to my girlfriends to say, Sunday night self-care. Does everyone want to put on a face mask and get on Zoom and just like hold each other accountable to that? How can we do things that we love? Should we all like do our nails together and just talk? I don't know. I miss that. I miss going to the salon. Beauty and bingo, get out. Jessica, that's so cute. If you can tell me how you're doing that, where are you like printing bingo cards from? I'm all about that. I love bingo. And so what are you doing also with your local community? And this is where I'm thinking about your neighbor across the street. This is where you're thinking about, the sports teams your kids are a part of. You're thinking about all of the places that you typically hang out and see people, your favorite barista. A lot of these places are also online. Are you part of your town or neighborhood group? My town created, it's not like, I forgot what they called it. It's not like the food pantry group, but it's something about food. And it's literally everyone. So it's just if you live in this town. And what it is if you have extra food or food that's expiring or food that you don't like, we're all getting like boxes of vegetables and ordering things and going through our pantries. So people will be like, this ketchup, I have an extra and it's going to expire. Does anyone need a ketchup? And like, I'll leave it out on my front porch. Or has anyone seen any lentils at the supermarket, and which supermarket has it? It's a really cool way for people to share what they have. I was part of a regional group that was a restaurant group. Like, I love to eat out. And then the owner of that group just broke it down into now different towns. So the other day I went on and I was like, I should really support my local town, and I should see like what's on Shop Local, and can I support a Shop Local that's local to me that's doing takeout? And I thought that was really cool. And we took a picture of our food and we posted it, and that's another place. But don't just be there. You have to pour into it. What you pour into it is what you're going to get back. Posting things, looking out, and then you can see things too. Someone's looking for hand sanitizer. Someone's looking for vitamin C. Someone's looking for more, toilet paper, and you have flushable wipes. It doesn't though all have to be about business, because if you follow all my other Zooms, then you'll go from, this is where to find the people. In the last meeting, I told you how to create those conversations and then, what to say. We're kind of going like, we started zoomed in and now we're going out a little bit. Christine, I love that you had a local LA Sisters party last night. And yeah, and you have new friends that want to know about isotonics, because that's what people are doing. They are complaining. Melanie's saying that she'll ask her neighbors if they need anything. I do too. And the other day, I put my neighbors on a group text and said, hey, just checking in. So it's not just me texting one neighbor, it's me creating community. Do you guys get the difference? That's what I'm talking about. I love that schools are going online. I love that the dance classes are going virtual. How cool was it? Did you guys watch, the Disney sing-along? And like, how amazing was it to see Derek Huff's kitchen? How cool was it to see, all these people inside of their house? I was a little disappointed we didn't see more of where Ariana Grande was. She was a very blank screen. I'm like, come on, girl, give us a house tour. Where are you? And was anyone else saying, like, where the heck was Elton John with that cool, like, topiary in the background? That's the thing, is now it's so personal. I really love that. And I don't know about you guys, but one thing that I, noticed being 14 years in the business, when I first started, it was really easy to get into people's homes, I found, and to have these living room meetings and conversations. And then all of a sudden, I just found that the world's got a little bit harder. It was easy for me to meet at a Panera, easy for me to meet at a Starbucks. But people, I have a great girlfriend, and we live pretty far from each other, so we do tend to meet halfway. But I've invited her over a few times, and I said to her, like, I'll come down to your house. But the last time I said that to her, she was like, I don't know, my house is like a total mess. Like, let's just meet somewhere. Let's find like a park we can meet at with the kids, or let's go to the zoo. And I was like, oh. Like, you kind of want to see where people live. Like, you want to get into their space. You want to learn a little bit more about them. And I'm loving this. I'm loving how intimate, like, we're getting right into people's houses. I just think there's something about that. You learn something different about them. My husband had on the draft the other day. Did anyone else's husbands have on the NFL draft? I just thought it was so cool to see the inside of all these people's offices or living rooms or houses. And, again, it just like where they're from and what it's like, and to see their family all around them. And so I really think that, bringing your local community, bringing them, into an online community, you can do this really well. You can do this to create intimacy, to create trust, that know, like, and trust factor. People are going to do business not with you because of what you have, but why you do it. If they understand more about you, they're more likely to open up to you. about your business, about what you do, about the lifestyle that you're creating. And finally, I just want to end with how you can become a leader and lead online. Create your own groups. According to Hootsuite, there's 1.4 billion people using Facebook groups. There's more than 10 million groups on Facebook. So, there's a lot more people in groups than leading groups. Groups are a big deal. Facebook loves groups. They love community. They've loved that for a while. They've seen how great it is to take people's in-person social circles and then copy that online. It's like a big bulletin board. It's like it almost goes back to like, when I'm in college and I live in my college dorm and you have the RA and they have the bulletin board where they post all the things that are happening, the community events, the get-togethers, the public service announcements, things you need to know, important dates, stuff that's going on in the world. That's what it is. That's what the online group is the bulletin board for your in-person group. And so I created something because I felt like we needed to, with Market America, talk about our health and nutrition products in a really big way. How many of you guys were part of my nationwide online health and wellness party? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not even sure if nationwide is supposed to have a hyphen, is one word or two words. I did it messy. I did it selfishly for me to share my friends with my customers. That's how I was going to start. It was going to be a customer group for me. And I said, you know what? I probably could ask Dr. Mason. I could probably ask my dad. I could probably ask, Melanie Nelson, Brandy Murphy to like hang out with me in this group and talk to my customers. Well, then I said, well, that's not fair. I should probably like invite my team. And then that's not fair. I should probably invite, my NC friends. And at that time, we're all trying to build a shopping annuity, right? So like, let's invite them. You guys, we built this group to over 15,000 people. Some of these videos are viewed thousands and thousands of times. It has been such an amazing group. So cool. And it's all just been, run by distributors, by volunteers, by us asking. We've had, I think it's been 3 now. For 3 years in a row, we've done little 3-day events. I opened it back up in this time, just so if anyone wanted to add people so they could see the videos. And we're going to start to have an idea to re-engage with this in the next couple weeks. But you can do this too. You can absolutely do this. Look at what Facebook's saying about, I just put in Facebook group and it says, join a community, connect with new people, share knowledge, or get support. Find the group for you. Even Facebook is telling you, don't just join the group, but take action. Take action once you're in there. Look at this is the town next to me, Beverly. Beverly Eats with 3,000 members. 3,000 members and only 8 people go in there and post a day. You're going to tell me that a group with 3,000 people gets 8 posts? Do you think if you made a list of groups in your area and you said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and interact with these groups. And I'm just going to at least comment on someone's post. And once or twice a week, I'll make my own post. You will become a leader very quickly in some groups. And it can be something as simple as your town group, an online eating group, or you could start a group, for something like Melanie did with Get Lean during quarantine. I love that. And it's everyone who just started. Yeah, it's going gangbusters. And you guys get it. You guys get how to be leaders. And you see that. You know what it's like to post and interact within a group. So, I'm sure Melanie appreciates that. You can see here, all I did is I just took a screenshot. Up here it says create group. I just took screenshots for you, just so you know what you need. You're going to need a name. You can change it. It doesn't have to be that great. I like where you think about if you're going to solve a problem. Like, Melanie said, get lean during quarantine. You know exactly who that's for, exactly who it is. You have to have at least one person that you can add. So you got to know that. You can't create a group and not add anyone. So, okay, in full transparency, sometimes I just add my husband first, or I'll add my mom, or I'll add Brandy Murphy. You're going to decide, is it something that's searchable or private? Now, so you might want to make it private if it's just for your team. You might want to make it public if you're creating something that it's like, hey, I mean, are you, I don't know, that's such a great idea. Like virtual bingo lovers, Jessica could create a group and teach people how to run virtual bingo events and post all her virtual bingo events. Maybe she'll get people to jump on virtual bingo that she doesn't even know. I don't know. How cool would that be? Jessica, I'm loving this idea. We've got to talk offline about this too. Is it going to be visible? You know, where is it going to be? So you have to make a couple decisions. I know you guys can do this. I know you can take those in-person connections and you can make them and put them online. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please comment and let me know, you know, what kind of tips, what kind of communities are you going to go and interact with? Are you going to create a community, or are you just going to talk a little bit more in the ones that you have? How do you think this is going to affect your business? How do you think it's going to affect your friendships? How is it going to affect your team culture? And any questions, I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Otherwise, I hope that you interact with me online and in the future, and keep up with these series, because I know that I've learned a lot from these online events. Thanks, everyone.